Hi everybody, it's Andrea, and today I have a question in regards to CCSVI. Let me preface this with how I feel about a lot of the stuff that's going on right now. There's been a lot of, I guess, animosity from both sides of the aisle. People who are all for CCSVI, and then people who are very strong advocates for whatever drug they are taking, and they feel that that is working for them. If any of you who have been following my videos, you know that I am all about supporting people in whatever choice they make. I am not them, and I am not a doctor. I am not a professional. I am nobody to tell somebody what is right for them or what they should be doing for them. So I'm always respectful of anybody's decision because it's a personal choice. And I'm sorry if I'm sounding a little funny, but I need to get my new apparatus in my mouth adjusted, and it's moving around a little bit. So I'm having a bit of a tongue thrust issue. It's not my MS, it's my thing in my mouth. So just to get that out of the way, because I'm a little self-conscious of it. But I really wanted to do this video. And my point being about how I am very supportive of whatever anybody's choice is. I'm asking you to be respectful to me in this video if you choose to respond in the same way I was respectful to you. Now, what I have is a question, and I'm really hoping that if any of you can answer it, that you could do a video response, because typing it all out is going to be a chore, because it's a pretty involved question, I think. So basically, my question is around lesions. And now I can only speak for myself and what I know, what's going on with my body, what neurologists have explained to me, and research I have done regarding my MS and how it affects me. Everything I have learned and have been told is that the disability or the symptoms I have are due to the lesions I have and where they're located. Now, from what I understand, you can have 20, 30 lesions and possibly not show many symptoms because of where they're located. Or if you're like me, you may not have that many lesions, but because of where they're located, you're very symptomatic. So, I have in my brain a large lesion on the left side, and the 3 new lesions I have in my brain from the period of time I was on Avonex. And I will get to that in a little bit. Majority of my lesions are on my spine, my cervical cord and my thoracic spine. The cervical cord lesion is the one that helped get me diagnosed. It's the one that caused me to go numb, starting bilaterally from my knees down and then slowly spreading until almost my entire body was numb and tingly. And God, it was horrible. But it was due to that lesion being active. When I got the hug, it was due to a new lesion in my thoracic spine at about T4. And going over the MRI with my neurologist at that time, who was very thorough, and she really took the time to explain to me when I was presenting with symptoms of the hug and the pain, she said, "You've got a new lesion and it's in your spine somewhere in this area." And sure enough, MRI after all of that proved it to be true. And that's the lesion that was, I was lucky that it was going down my thoracic spine this way, following the spine down. Because if it was trisecting across at that area, I would now be paralyzed from the chest down from that lesion. Now, I don't know if that would have lasted forever, if after steroids it would have gotten better, but I do know that the hug has not gone away. Steroids have not helped it whatsoever, or the neck pain that accompanies it. So, lesions. And now we have CCSVI. I just can't quite understand how having proper blood flow, which I think is great, and I do believe CCSVI is a part of the puzzle, but I don't understand how it affects the lesions. And when I see some of these videos of people who have had truly remarkable results, I don't understand how the blood flowing better affects an existing lesion. Like for myself, even though the lesions aren't active as far as I know, things have been status quo, I still have damage from them. So when I see people who get relief from their hug and their numbness goes away and things like that shortly after the procedure, I don't understand it. I've tried looking and trying to find information about it, and my brain just can't comprehend it, and I'm really hoping somebody can explain it to me, because the damage is there. And if you have good blood, that's great. But how is it affecting that lesion? And then you get the people who restenose. And then they say the first signs of restenosing is your symptoms start coming back. I can't understand that. Having good blood flow and the lesion is better, and then you restenose, it's closing off or narrowing in a different area or something. I don't know. But then the symptoms come back. But that lesion is still there. Because if you're restenosing and the symptoms come back, obviously there's still damage there. So I hope I'm making myself clear. I'm just trying to understand this. Now, as far as fatigue and cog fog and things like that I can understand, because if you have bad blood refluxing throughout your brain, leaving toxins, iron, that type of thing, I could understand that having better blood flow and getting good oxygenated blood in there would improve those things. That I can understand. And possibly even with speech and stuff like that, because fatigue and not, I guess, functioning quite properly would improve. So that is my question, is how does this affect lesions? Because when you have a relapse, exacerbation, a flare-up, whatever you call it, it's usually due to either a new lesion or an existing lesion that has become active again. So I just don't understand how proper blood flow can cause people who didn't walk before be able to walk. And so I guess statistic wise is what I'm seeing in the anecdotal evidence, and some of the doctors who are writing about what they're coming across. It's the 1/3 who get great results, 1/3 who get some improvement, and then another third who gets no benefit. So, another thing. God, I'm doing the so thing. But I'm kind of anxious about this whole topic, and so I'm a little nervous because I'm afraid of how people are going to respond. And we all, at least I want to be liked, but I do have legitimate questions that I have not had answered. As for myself, when I had the procedure done, it took between 4 and 6 weeks for me to see any improvement. And my improvement was my cognition, my speech, and my balance, and my walking was getting better, and my range of motion was getting better. Then the cold weather came, and I have been a person that, with MS, cold is the worst thing for me. I do much better during the summer and in the warmer months. Cold kills me, and we've had really cold temperatures, damp, pressure lows affect me. I'm like a walking barometer. I can feel it coming. My body feels it coming. And so a lot of those things reversed. But my speech and cognition and everything still stayed good. My body was responding to the weather, as it always has with me. It's starting to warm up now. My walking is getting better. I'm not stiff like I was. My movement's a little better. I still think I have that funky pulled muscle, but it's not as bad as it was. So I have to look at all that. Another thing that I do have to take into consideration is, prior to me having my procedure done, was I had stopped Avonex, which in the 14-month period that I was on it, from when I started, my MS got so bad. Avonex was not good for me. 2 relapses during that 14-month that all presented with spinal cord injury and damage. Yet at the end, I found out I also had 3 new lesions in my brain. So I'm sure Avonex works great for a lot of people. For me personally, it doesn't. I believe it's what made me progress. But it takes some time for it to get out of your system. And as always with me, there's always something going on at the same time. It's like I'm always having to weed through what changed. And I have to look at this and be honest. I was doing very, very poorly on Avonex, and even the doctors at the drug study were like, this is not the drug for you. We totally understand why you're leaving. So I'm getting that out of my system. Then I have the procedure. Then it took 4 to 6 weeks for me to see any sort of improvement. I have to wonder, is it because the Avonex is now completely out of my system? And I don't know. I'm not claiming anything. All I can say is I have to look at this with an objective eye for myself. I know that everybody has very strong feelings about the drugs. People who are on them, very strong feeling that they work for them, and more power to them. People with CCSVI, who it's done wonders for them, more power to them. I'm happy for them. I just don't understand certain things about it. As far as the drugs go, the true thing that upsets me is the cost and the greed. When Gilenya came on the market at $48,000 a year, all the other drugs increased their price because they are going to lose, they think, a large part of their base, so to speak. So that the drug companies just tick me off when it comes to pricing and stuff like that. But another thing that is starting to concern me, especially like on Facebook and stuff, is when I'm on there now, in the little sidebar where you see the ads and stuff, I'm seeing a lot of advertisement now for places that do CCSVI. They're targeting us. And it's medical tourism and those type of things. And so that's a little disconcerting to me that they're really going after people. And I understand that people want to get this done. But when you see all these different places popping up, and then you're hearing people having to have 2, 3, 4 procedures done, that's a lot of money. Another thing that I'm finding kind of funky is that a lot of these places don't accept insurance. You have to pay cash. It's a little strange to me. I don't know what the basis is, and I'm not claiming anything. But for myself, personally, I find that to be a little strange. And especially if you're coming back for repeated procedures, that's a lot of money out of your pocket. So you can say on one hand, the pharmaceutical companies are gouging us. And then on the other hand, you see a lot of money being made on this procedure. And all I'm saying is I'm trying to be really objective about it and look at it from both sides. Everybody is so passionate about what they believe in. And I'm kind of a middle of the road person. I look at everything. Do I still think CCSVI has merit? Yes. I think they're finally on a new path, a new way of looking at the disease that they hadn't been before. But when I see people who are just going to some doctor that says, oh, now we do this, it concerns me. Now, there are a lot of reputable doctors out there that have been from the start doing this. And I would be more inclined, if I were somebody looking to have this done again, to check out these doctors who have been doing it, and just be really careful. It just kind of scares me a little. Another thing is, I believe it's Dr. Dake, who is looking and raising funds to do a true blinded study for this. And a lot of people are against that. They just want the procedure done and then follow the patients. And I can understand that. But for me, I think it truly needs a blinded study. And if I'm not mistaken, he did say that it would be a 3-month period of, if you got a sham procedure, that after 3 months, if they did find you had stenosis, you would get the true procedure. And I think that's fair. If it were me, I would be willing to wait 3 months to see. So those are my concerns and questions. My big thing is, I don't understand how the blood flow affects the lesion. Like with my case, I got no relief from any of my symptoms in the spinal cord. Still have the hug, still have the neck pain, still numb, all of that, none of it has changed. So I guess there you have it. I think that was everything I wanted to cover. And as I stated before, I am not trying to offend anybody or saying this is right or that's right. I'm just trying to get some straight answers because I just don't understand it. And if somebody can explain it to me, I would greatly appreciate it. Like I said, I know a lot of you are very close with your IRs. And if you could do a video response, because like I said, writing it out would be a nightmare. And for me, seeing and hearing you would explain it better. If you could get your doctor to explain it, that would be even better. But I can't wrap my brain around it. Everything with me has been due to lesions and lesion placement. And I don't understand how better blood flow affects the damage to, in my case, my spine. And as I said, I've gotten no improvement. So that's it. Respond. Whatever your belief is in anything, please be respectful. That's all I ask. I'm respectful to all of you. And that's it. So, signing out for now, and curious to see what I get back. Hope you all have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.